Chapter 2, Open Book. So, Edward spent 6 days sulking in a snowbank. Now this is just me, but if enough snow piles around him, wouldn't it be like an immortal trapped under a mountain? Because, skiers get trapped in avalanches and can't move because of all the weight. So wouldn't the same happen to him? Anyway, until Tanya cannonballs next to him so they can talk, and he calls her the original succubus because she and her sisters used to seduce men and eat them. So, yeah. And she's disappointed that he didn't change her mind about her because she has a super duper crush on him, which will get resolved in Breaking Dawn because she falls in love with Lee Pace, which I don't blame her. And he's sorry, but he hasn't found what he's looking for yet. Funny. And he decides to go back, and she runs across the snow, not leaving footprints. Okay, it's been established they're like marble statues that can move. They're not elves. They would leave deep impressions in the snow. But whatever. And he looks up at the stars, wondering what going back would mean for Bella. So skip to whenever, and he's back in Forks. Alice tells him he's going to be okay, and Emmett and Jasper then throw snowballs at him, and Jasper grins at his lack of control. So Edward doesn't breathe in the cafeteria, and he listens into people's thoughts, amazed she told no one about him. Bella's not like other girls. Alice tells him to look human. Yep. And she walks in, but Bella walks in, but Emmett takes that as a challenge. Of course he does. And throws an ice ball. Rosalie flicks it away, and it hits a brick wall, cracking it. Okay, but is that even physically possible, though? Can ice, hit brick and crack it? I don't know. Edward hates that Mike thinks of Bella, and he worries that Bella's so sick because she only drinks a soda for lunch. So he switches to Jessica's thoughts, and Emmett's pretty nonchalant over killing one human. They're not the heroes. They're really not. Heroes don't think this way. I've said it before, and I'm sure I'll say it again. And Alice throws ice at him, and Ed thinks he should stop thinking of Bella as the only girl in the world. Yeah, he really should stop. It's getting annoying. And he still can't hear her thoughts, and listens in on her and Jessica's conversation. And he stays in the cafeteria as the lunchroom empties. His family waits for him. They are discussed, what might happen, if he slips. But he wanted to see Bella again. Sigh. And her silent mind interests him. And Alice is 93% sure nothing bad will happen. Okay, but when you gamble with people's lives, any percentage that isn't 100, you don't bet on, okay? You don't. Edward orders him to go to class, and he's in biology, and is focused on Bella's doodles when he wonders why she doesn't look at him. So he introduces himself. It's pretty much word for word what happens in Twilight. And he breathes through his mouth and tastes her, which is gross. And the Madner has them start the lab, and they finish first. He and Mike share ill will to each other. She notices his eyes are different color, and she is the first person in 2 years to point this out. I call bullshit. And Banner interrupts his thoughts, and Bella starts doodling again. So Ed starts to talk about the weather and asks why she came here. Yeah, it's really like word for word from Twilight, with just like his personal thoughts on this. I don't even like fanfic that just recaps everything in a different character's perspective. Like, it's repetitive and boring. And he thinks she's not like other humans, and he calls her selfless and not the average martyr that doesn't want an audience. She moved to live with her dad until she graduates high school. She's not Joan of Arc. And he thinks he relies on his telepathy too much. Like, yeah, I kind of agree with him, because, if you read everyone's thoughts, you lose how to interact with people. Like, there's stuff in people's thoughts they don't want anyone to know. And if you bring it up in conversation by accident, it can cause a lot of problems. And the open book, hard to read lines. And he wonders why she isn't afraid of him. Because she's stupid. And he's fascinated by her wanting to know more and wants to know more about her. And then she flips her hair and it's like a grenade again. When the bell sounds, he flees to fresh air and meets Emmett, who is worried because Alice left class. And he's revolted by Emmett's willingness to kill Bella, as he remembers when he killed a woman he couldn't resist. Everyone, fanons Emmett as, this big brother himbo. This is kind of disturbing, what I'm reading about him. And Edward startles the Spanish teacher, and he leaves the class and searches for others' thoughts about Bella. And he finds her in the gym, and Mike is bitter, so Ed listens to violent music. Can't name the band, because Stephanie doesn't listen to quote-unquote violent music. Blah, blah. And school ends, and he's disappointed. Bella walks past him to her truck, and he watches her and watches as she almost crashes and laughs at the thought of her being dangerous. And that's chapter 2. Yep. And this book is over 600 pages.